When Earth executed Project Silence in late 2026, we foolishly believed that darkness was our sanctuary. For 90 agonizing days, the dark monolith hung in orbital stillness above our world, watching a completely blacked out planet. But we made one fatal miscalculation. Shutting off our broadcasts didn't make us invisible. It merely confirmed to the entity that we were listening. By the winter of 2026, human civilization had receded deep beneath the Earth. With all surface power grids severed and orbital satellites permanently dead, military command structures retreated into massive, hardened, subterranean bunker networks. Above ground, cities stood as giant, silent monuments of dark glass and concrete. The skies were unnaturally quiet. No jet engine contrails, no radio waves, no satellite passes.
For the first 100 days of the blackout, humanity learned to live in the shadow of the unknown. We expected kinetic bombardment. We prepared for atmospheric purging. But the entity did nothing. It simply hovered in geostationary orbit over the Atlantic, casting an unbroken, unnatural shadow across millions of square miles. Scientific teams in deep subterranean laboratories operated under strict thermal and electronic shielding, utilizing primitive fiber optic lines to communicate.
They soon realized the terrifying reality of the situation. The alien mass wasn't an invasion fleet meant to conquer. It was a listening post, a silent sentinel deployed to verify if the civilization that lit the cosmic signal fire was still alive, or ready to be harvested.
While humanity sat in pitch darkness below, our eyes remained fixed on the entity above. But we were looking in the wrong direction. On day 112 of the blackout, an automated deep space monitoring station on the far side of the moon, long abandoned by human personnel, recorded an ultra-high frequency energy pulse. It was not an attack, nor was it a broadcast aimed at Earth. It was an outgoing relay signal. The dark monolith in our orbit was firing a tightly focused beam of gravitational waves directly past Jupiter, aimed at an uncharted sector of the Milky Way. Subterranean cryptanalysts intercepted the telemetry data embedded within the beam. What they decrypted sent shockwaves through the military underground. The transmission contained a full, high-resolution structural breakdown of planet Earth, our atmosphere's composition, our remaining underground heat signatures, and our exact planetary coordinates.
The monolith hadn't come to destroy us. It was merely a scout, and it had just notified the rest of the fleet that the target was silent, vulnerable, and ready for harvest.
With the realization that silence was no longer a shield, humanity made a desperate, final gamble. Deep beneath mountain ranges across North America, Europe, and Asia, subterranean industrial complexes were repurposed overnight. The Global Military Command initiated Project Prometheus, the most ambitious defense initiative in human history, built entirely in secret. Geothermal energy grids were rerouted to power subterranean particle accelerators and high-altitude plasma arrays. In mountain silos, scientists rushed to construct kinetic railguns capable of launching hypervelocity projectiles directly into low Earth orbit. We were converting our entire planet into a concealed fortress. If an alien fleet was indeed en route, we would not go quietly into the cosmic night. But among the scientific elite, dissent was growing. They understood the brutal disparity in scale. Developing kinetic defenses against a civilization capable of relativistic interstellar travel was akin to throwing stone spears at an incoming nuclear missile. As the weapons were armed deep underground, one terrifying question divided humanity. Was Project Prometheus an act of heroic defiance, or a suicide note that guaranteed our immediate extinction?
Humanity's desperate attempt to arm the planet did not go unnoticed in the cold void. The moment our subterranean geothermal reactors surged to peak capacity to charge the particle arrays of Project Prometheus, the dark monolith in Earth's orbit responded instantly. It did not deploy conventional warheads, nor did it rain kinetic rods from the sky.
Instead, the anomaly generated an invisible, pulse-like gravitational distortion wave that swept across the entire planet in less than 3 seconds. It was not a physical explosion, but a total collapse of localized space-time. Deep inside our hardened mountain bunkers, the known laws of physics began to bend. High-voltage geothermal conduits froze instantly. Their intense thermal energy sucked directly into an artificial thermodynamic void. Subterranean particle accelerators malfunctioned as localized gravity inverted, causing heavy equipment, tactical terminals, and personnel to float helplessly in midair.
The massive railgun silos built into mountain peaks collapsed inward under the sheer weight of distorted spatial mass, imploding silently before a single interceptor could be launched. Humanity had tried to show its teeth to the cosmos, but the entity proved that our most advanced defense network was nothing more than primitive, irrelevant noise. In less than a minute, Earth's entire military apparatus was rendered completely inert, neutralized, without the anomaly exerting even a fraction of offensive force.
With Earth's defense network completely paralyzed, the quiet did not last. On day 140 of the continental blackout, optical sensors in deep subterranean observatories recorded a massive gravitational distortion wave rippling across the outer solar system, far beyond the orbit of Neptune. The dark scout monolith in our atmosphere hadn't just observed us, it had summoned the main fleet.
Dozens of colossal, razor-sharp geometric entities dropped out of warp space. Their pitch-black, non-reflective hulls absorbed sunlight completely, drifting past the gas giants like mobile black holes. They moved in absolute silence, forming an impenetrable perimeter around the inner planets.
As these leviathans entered Earth's low orbit, the sky above our world didn't burn with fiery re-entry. It simply vanished. The remaining starlight was completely blotted out by an artificial, starless void of alien hull structures. Looking up from the freezing shadows of our subterranean bunkers, humanity finally grasped the full weight of the dark forest. This was not an invasion meant for occupation or communication. The galactic hunters had arrived, and the harvest protocol had officially begun. For millions of years, Earth was a haven of quiet evolution, hidden safely beneath the cosmic canopy of an indifferent universe. In a single century of technological hubris, we shattered that divine protection. We broadcasted our existence into a dark forest, teeming with silent, waiting apex predators. And the answer to our naive signal was not salvation, but total extinction. As the monolithic holes lock their planetary orbital grids over our atmosphere, and the last emergency power grids die out in the deep subterranean bunkers beneath us, human civilization leaves behind one final, recorded warning for whichever species might wander into this sector next. If you are out there listening in the freezing void, if you pick up the faint echo of this ghost transmission, stay silent. Never turn on the light. End of file. End of human transmission.